In a quiet house far from the chaos, Mallory paints in silence. Her face is calm, but her eyes tell another story of isolation, of sadness, of something broken inside. The world outside has begun to spiral into madness. News channels scream about mass suicides. People are dying, not because they want to, but because they see something no one can describe. Some call it a virus, others a curse. But one thing is clear: once you see it, you lose control and end your own life. Mallory's sister, Jessica, visits trying to comfort her. But the world outside their door is already collapsing. Together they drive through the city, only to witness a scene straight from a nightmare. Cars crash into one another, people jump into fires, and chaos spreads like a disease. Jessica's voice trembles. It's here. She sees something invisible. Her eyes fill with terror. And before Mallory can react, Jessica drives the car off the road, stepping into the path of a speeding truck. Mallory screams. Blood, glass, silence, and then nothing. Alone and terrified, she runs for her life as the invisible force swoops through the streets. Mallory stumbles into a house, frightened, desperate, gasping for air. Inside are a handful of strangers hiding from the same unseen nightmare. There's Tom, calm, brave, and kind, who instantly helps her. There's Douglas, the skeptic, Cheryl, the gentle old woman, and Olympia, another pregnant girl, who clutches her stomach in fear. They cover the windows, shut every curtain tight, and turn off the lights. No one dares to look outside. They only move when the air feels still, when the silence feels safe. But fear sits heavy in the room, pressing on every heartbeat. As the days pass, they begin to understand the rules of survival. Never look outside, never uncover the windows, and never open the door for anyone, no matter how much they beg. Then one day, a man arrives, banging on the door, crying for help. His name is Gary. Against Douglas's warning, they let him in. He seems harmless, but behind his trembling eyes, something dark stirs. Mallory senses it. Something is wrong. And soon, the darkness outside will no longer stay at the door. Days turn into nights, and fear turns into routine. The housemates learn to live in blindness, surviving by sound, touch, and instinct. But the invisible evil outside is patient. It waits. It whispers. It tempts. Olympia goes into labor first. Mallory helps her while others guard the windows. But at the worst possible moment, Gary reveals his true self. His eyes are wild, his smile unnatural. He believes the creatures outside are divine. He wants everyone to see them. Before anyone can stop him, he tears down the coverings, opening the windows to the cursed light. Screams fill the house as one by one people see the creatures and lose their sanity. Mallory fights to protect the newborns, clutching the babies close while the others fall. Tom saves her, the only survivor with her. Together, they escape with the infants into the chaos, blindfolded, stepping into a world gone mad. 5 years have passed. The world is quiet, too quiet. Mallory and Tom have built a fragile life in the ruins, raising the 2 children they call simply boy and girl. They live by rules, not love. Never take off your blindfold, Mallory repeats every morning. She trains them to listen, to move silently, to survive without sight. Tom, however, believes there's still hope. He dreams of a world where they can live without fear. Then one day, they intercept a radio signal, a voice promising safety at a hidden refuge downstream. But soon after, strangers appear. Survivors who have seen the creatures, but somehow remain alive. They're not victims, they're followers. They worship what others fear. A confrontation turns violent. Tom sacrifices himself to protect Mallory and the children. His last words echo in her heart. You have to keep going. And so, blindfolded, with 2 children by her side, Mallory begins a dangerous journey down the river, toward the last hope of humanity. The river roars like a monster, cold and merciless. Mallory's boat drifts through fog and whispers. The children sit silently, clutching her arms. They can't see, but they can hear the voices of the dead. The creatures mimic familiar sounds, trying to make them remove their blindfolds. "Take it off, Mallory. It's beautiful." Her mother's voice. Then Tom's. But Mallory knows. It's a trap. The boat crashes into rocks. Rain pours. One wrong move could mean death. A choice must be made. One of them must look, just once, to guide the boat. But Mallory can't let her children die for her. She screams through the storm. No one looks. No one. They drift endlessly, cold and starving. Yet Mallory keeps going, driven by the faint memory of Tom's voice and the fragile hope of safety waiting downstream. After surviving the river's wrath, Mallory and the children step onto land, soaked and trembling. The forest is alive with unseen whispers. Every rustle feels like a warning, every breath a threat. The creatures follow, invisible but near. A child cries. Mallory silences them gently, holding them close. "Listen to me," she whispers. "We move when it's quiet. We stop when we hear them." The forest plays cruel tricks. Footsteps echo, branches snap, voices lure. At one point, Boy trips and almost peeks from beneath his blindfold. Mallory grabs him just in time. Tears fall, but she cannot afford emotion. In this world, love is weakness, and hesitation is death. The sound of birds, real birds, finally reaches her ears. It's faint, but hopeful. She follows the sound, each step echoing with memories of those she's lost. The voices grow louder, closer, relentless. But suddenly the sound of bells cuts through the air. Mallory calls out desperately, and someone answers. Guided by the sound, she stumbles through the last stretch of forest and bursts into a clearing. A fortified gate opens. Inside, people. Real, living people. They pull her and the children in and close the gate behind them. For the first time in years, she removes her blindfold. The light floods her eyes, and she sees safety. The refuge is a sanctuary run by survivors, many of them blind. The creatures cannot harm those who cannot see. Mallory breaks down, clutching her children. For the first time, she gives them names, Olympia and Tom, names of love, names of the fallen. In the courtyard, birds sing freely in their cages. The very creatures that warned them of danger now sing of peace. Mallory looks up at the sky, tears glistening in her eyes. The world outside is still lost, the monsters still roam, but here, within these walls, life has returned. For the first time, Mallory smiles, not the smile of survival, but of hope. She knows the journey isn't over, but she's no longer afraid. The darkness may have taken the world, but not her heart. As the camera fades out, the sound of birds fills the air, the sound of freedom, of life, of Bird Box.